We're back with another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Wilson. Virginia's podcast for the culture, from the culture, being brought to you by and powered by Spin 100 FM. A lot of people want to know when it's coming. We working, things are happening, but we coming. The house that the heavy hitter DJ Lonnie B built. Today we got on the show Mila Mansa. I'm very interested to talk to Mila Mansa. I learned about Mila, first off, just showing some of her credentials. 4-time winner of RVA's Rap 3? Really? Only 3? I thought you won 4 times. Dang, okay, I gave you one. I thought you were a 3-time winner of, I don't know. I feel like it's, you sure? I guess you would know. 3-time winner of RVA Rap Elite. Richmond, y'all familiar with RVA Rap Elite, the platform that's created for lyricists by a brother of the show, Radio B. She's also season 4 MVP. And really, hit when people became familiar with Mila, she became a conversation because she was drafted late in the first draft that she became aware, but she really hit the audience ears with the bars. So she's a true lyricist, MC. He's definitely gained a lot of respect within the lyrical community. My preferred group of music, boom bap artists, particularly. Do you categorize yourself as an artist?
No.
Because one of the things to me that one of my motivations about this in conversation is that as an artist, I think that you have an aura about you, and I say this in a respectful way. It makes people curious about how you create and come to delivering your music. Okay, and I'll say this from the standpoint of one of the things I've watched of you that I found very interesting. And I almost thought it was like part of your game, and maybe I'm wrong. But the reason I watched you, you come in, you find your spot, you chill, and this is a lot of times in preparation for a cipher, whatever the case is. Your game face is on to me as soon as you walk in. This is my view, my opinion, right? And when you go on the stage, you approach the stage and I see this process you go through, and then you kill it. And to me, it's almost like they almost contradict each other. You kill it. I see all this confidence. I see a lot of fierce. I mean, there's so many words I can use to describe how you kill the stage. But as you approach the stage, it's almost like a different person. I used to think it was was that a part of your purpose? So my question is this: I'm a basketball guy, right? Okay. Before the basketball game, the ball goes up. There's a little anxiousness, because it's everyone's watching you. It's getting ready to start. Hearts are beating. What is your process? What's the process like for you when you approach the stage?
Well, when I approach the stage, I kind of just want to make sure that I got together what I'm about to do. I want to have my head in the game. I want to be focused. And I just want to find the light and do my thing. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, it's not no whole deep old process, but there is a slight transformation that probably takes place because, you can't walk around being a superhero all the time.
Yeah. I think I see that. I've seen that. Because I see it, and part of it speaks to me as a person and what I do in my life, and because I'm assessing things, I see you morph into, I don't want to say a villain. I don't know what kind of word superhero, but you turn I think you give something sometimes that people may not see as coming, and that's what you did for us, because no one saw it coming. And girl, lady, have you came? You've become a staple person within the RVA Rap Elite community that people desire to see you show up. and when you don't show up, it impacts people. People feel it a little bit. I actually kind of respect it a little bit because I think that it's a balance. I feel like sometimes a preparation probably. Like so if you don't win, because you won back to back and consecutively, like you was winning back to back to back. I'm curious, like, what do you see as is there any difference between the last season to you and this season? And like, and when you don't win, does that, how you approach the next cipher, is it any different than when you do win?
Approaching the ciphers is always the same process. It doesn't matter if I won the one before that or not. For me, it's about just trying to work with the beat that they give you, because we don't pick the beat, they pick the beat, and so it's like it may or may not be your lane. So my thing is, working with the beat and trying to find some kind of way to make it interesting or different from maybe the last time I was there as far as cadence is concerned. But like content, I kind of stay throwing punches and things like that. But like, I don't know. It's like radio says, any given Sunday, you know? And so as long as I feel like I came with my stuff together and I presented it the way I wanted to present it, where I fall is where I fall. And that's kind of the same attitude that I had when I approached it before. It's like, I'm going to rap this and, whatever the response is, it doesn't matter because I know I put my work in there, already, so.
Yeah. Do you think there's do you see any difference between this season and last season?
A little bit. I feel like last season there's people that's starting to emerge now that are showing the hunger and the desire to win. I think last season a lot of people had the desire to win, and it showed in their cipher performances.
Within that platform, have you been inspired or motivated to do anything different? Like, would you battle rap? Could we see you do a southpaw? Like, is that a part of your makeup at all?
I've never really done battle rap before.
No.
But that's not to say that I wouldn't do it, because I never done anything like the cipher before, which is kind of like you're battling 30 plus MCs with 1 2-minute verse, over the same beats. But it's a battle because it's like who comes out to the top, and then you go to the second round. But it's in a different mind frame, I think, than like maybe Smack or something like that,
So take us back. One of the things that I want to be in, again, going back to some of my motivation for this conversation, something that I'm inspired to be a part of, right, is that we become familiar with you as an artist, as an MC, and before I do a lot of research on people. I'm nerdy from the standpoint I study people to try to really have meaningful conversations, and so there's not a lot of documented on you. That's why I want a conversation, because we're familiar with you as an MC. I want the people to know like who you are a little bit, right? A little bit, not to be too nosy, even though I'm known to be nosy, but I'm not gonna be too nosy. Only from the standpoint of like, take us back to the origin of how you got into this thing called hip hop, because the cipher is new. Like, so like, what is the origin of you and music? Where did that come together at?
Well, I always been into hip hop. I used to dance and stuff like that, and it's like I always wrote poetry, and that was kind of my thing from like a young age. And I used to, do a lot of contests. I would win a lot of contests. I had like a poem published, I think, when I was 13, maybe, in like this book. And, so I just used to do a lot of poetry, but I would do hip hop separate as just like a dancer and just being a fan of the culture itself. And I would always want to be able to rhyme, but it would seem like I was better at mimicking people, and I couldn't really find my own like point of view and my own cadence for a while. And I just never understood how I could love hip hop so much and not be able to rap. And so it's like I was watching this interview that, well, it wasn't really an interview. They was like paparazzi in, I guess, like Tupac one time. And he was coming from his car, or he was going to his car or something. I don't know, but he was mad, and they was giving him all these problems, and he was like spitting at them and yelling at them, and he was like, you know, saying how he never had so much legal problems until he got to be a musician. And he was like, you know, I never been arrested as much as since I've been a musician, and I don't understand why they giving me so much problems when all I'm doing is just poetry over music, you know what I'm saying? And it was like something about that statement just kind of made it make sense to me, because that's what I would always win from in the poetry side, was because of the rhythm of my writing. And so I was like, oh, so maybe if I can transfer the rhythm of that writing, since he says poetry over music, right? Like I can catch a beat, so like maybe I can, if I can take the cadence of these poems and then I don't have to use such flowery words, I can just use regular, you know, speech, which makes it a little easier too. And so I started kind of doing that, and that's kind of like when I started coming up with like ideas and stuff. And I don't know, for a while I just wrote stuff, and I didn't really like perform it or you know, tell people, oh, I'm writing stuff. I'm just, you know, I would just be doing my own thing, practicing. And I knew other people that did music, and they would do something. I'd be like, oh, you should change that and say this instead. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, that's dope. And like they'll use a line. Or I'd be like, oh, you should say this. And they'd be like, yeah. And then it was like, I was like, well, they liking all my ideas, so maybe I got some good ideas. I should stop giving them away for free, right? So I just started like, I was like, I don't know, I was in DC, I was like, I'm going to go to an open mic. Like I went on Instagram and I found a Freestyle Friday that they had out there. And I was like, okay, I got these two that I really like. I'm going to go up there and you know, see what the reaction is, you know? Because like KRS said, you can't say that you're dope. Like, he said it in some interview, like, you can't say that you're dope. Like, somebody else has to say that you're dope. Like, somebody else has to co-sign that, like, for it to be valid.
I've heard that.
Like, you can't just pop out, like, I'm the queen of everything. Like, somebody has to say that. You know what I'm saying? For you, for it to be valid. So I wanted to see what the feedback would be like. And I went up to the Freestyle Friday, and, you know, typical open mic cyphers, like 40 dudes, you know, small tight room, a live broadcast podcast. They had the DJ playing beats, you know, and they were passing the mic around, and it was like, I was sitting there like, man, I'm never gonna get a chance to go, you know, because it's like they kind of was roughing it off from each other, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
everybody want to spit.
Yeah, so it's like, or somebody start messing up, or somebody will grab it. So I was like, man, if I want to rap, I'm gonna have to grab the mic at some point. So I don't know, just sitting there, and I'm waiting, and then the guy who was standing next to me got the mic. And I was like, okay, this is my chance. Like, when he mess up, when you take too deep of a breath, when you take too long of a pause, like, I'm just going to grab it, and I'm just going to do my thing. And so I was like, when he was like, yeah, and he said, and I was like, boom. And I just like, you know, rapping.
You remember that verse?
No, I don't, no. But it was like, and they was all kind of like, as I was the only female there, you know, and it was like, so, but they couldn't see where I was because it was like dudes standing all around. So sometimes you don't see. So they was like, who is that? Like, where's that voice coming from? We can't see anything. And so, you know, then I went up there like a couple of times, then I started getting comfortable, and then I started going up there more and going to other stuff, and just doing
one thing to another. So I don't know how do you describe your style, or do you describe your style? You're heavily DC influenced to some degree. I mean, because I've seen it go. I'm not gonna say heavily. I just think that I see the DC influence. But also, I don't know. I don't think you can. I really can't. I don't think you can be categorized completely. I think you've done a good job at responding to different beats. So I don't know. I don't really feel like I can categorize you. I think that's the thing that makes you different. You're like a hip hop Eurostep. You follow basketball? Any of? You know what Eurostep mean?
No.
So it's like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's hip hop, go influence, but like the Spaniards and the Europeans, they influenced American basketball because they brought new moves that we never did. We used to just dunk, cross people over. Like they created like cross different moves.
Okay.
So I feel like you can stick with a pocket and then do something different, and it be like still within the pocket and be unique. And like everyone don't rap like that. It's just different. Maybe I'm sounding completely off. Maybe I ain't describing it good. Basketball fans know what I'm talking about when I say Eurostep.
Okay.
So it's just like it's different. So anyway, can't categorize you really. Like, do you categorize yourself? Is it just music?
It's just music. I don't know if the go-go is like something that's heavily influenced. I did that for the Brewer session. Like
The Brewer session didn't make me feel that way. I think it's like when you rap, and I'm not gonna try to do it. I laugh about when I used to try to rap, but like sometimes like this is where you mess up. This is where, because you try to describe it, you got your flow. You got your own flow, and your flow is different than 95% of the other artists' flow in the cipher. Okay, it's just different because you have a different pattern to your rap. Regardless of what the beat is, you approach it differently. And to me, that's influenced by something other than just East Coast hip hop or Virginia rap. It's different. I wish I could describe it better.
It's influenced a lot by poetry, like I said, because I still use a lot of poetry. What do you call those? Devices. I use a lot of poetic devices in there still, just inherently, because that's where it's based from. So like even the song repetition is a form of poetry. It's one of the vices of poetry.
I want to talk about repetition. I want to talk about that because I was actually disappointed that you didn't do that during the Brewer session. Isn't repetition the song, the video? Is that the video you did in a train station?
Yeah.
Why'd you not do that song?
Well, because I felt like that the Brewer session gave me coffee shop vibes, and I wanted to just do something a little bit more cerebral for that setting, so that it could maybe live a little longer, because it didn't really seem like a turn up setting.
I feel you. You ever been to Tuesday Versus?
No.
You familiar with it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Do you still do poetry?
I do.
It's a spot. It's a dope spot. We all came from it, and it's been shout out Warner Pickney. If you go down like 1-2 blocks in the street, you'll say Warner Pickney. She was the founder of Tuesday Versus. It operated out of Richmond, DC, and New York. But it's been probably 19 years now, I think, and she died a few years ago. So like, anyway, staple of the city. Radio came from there. You should check it out. It's a dope vibe, and you probably feel compelled to do some poetry or some music, either one.
Maybe.
Check it out though. Check it out. You used the word flowery though just now when talking about the poetry. I found that interesting. So you think there's a different choice of words with your poetry than your rap, obviously.
Yeah.
You say things nice. I mean, it's a different choice of words.
No, I feel like when you write in poetry, like, okay, when you're writing a rap or you're writing hip hop stuff, it's like slang, regular conversational talk, colloquialisms, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, ebonics, like, it doesn't have to be proper, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but when you write in poetry, it's like, you don't, Well, the same in hip hop too, but in poetry, you want to use words that are maybe not expected, or you use more synonyms than the common word, just to expand the writing itself.
I got you.
So it's more interesting because it can't just be at that cat,
I got you.
bat, so it's like so I don't know, you do that in hip hop too, but it's just the language I think in poetry is more flowery because it's meant to create a picture in your mind as you're reading it.
Yeah.
And like hip hop goes so fast, it's more just following a train of thought.
I got you. I get the impression that you are a creative and not just an artist as from a hip hop rap standpoint, but like you create. What other things do you create?
Well,
you create. You have your own style, so I mean, I tend to think that you create other things. Am I wrong?
No, well, I mean, I do still write poetry, and I create other things, clothing and stuff sometimes, like for myself though.
Only yourself?
I mean, I've done pieces for people, but I'm not like have a fashion line. It's just something that I've always done.
Got you. Question I had for you. So again, season 4 MVP. After that, you was able to perform at the Broadberry for
Flag on
the Moon 6,
which was dope.
Crazy.
Like that was the best show I've been to in Richmond since I've been here. It's like the energy was crazy, the crowd was so crazy and into it. It was just with the good lighting they got there and everything. It just was like it was a vibe. It was a vibe.
Yeah, shout out AGM and Radio B, Nicholas F. Michael Millions name brand. They've been doing it every year for a long time. It is one of the best homegrown shows in the city for sure every year.
And the range of talent on the ticket was so good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, and different,
Yeah, it is. It definitely is different. So am I correct or not? I may be off. I think when you win, don't you get, did you get like a recording session with Michael Millions?
Yes.
Have you finished that? Have you completed that? Have you done that?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a couple of things. I'm not, finished yet, but I've done a couple of,
Yeah, we this is where we get nosy. Like, like what can we anticipate? Like, what's in the plan? Is there a summer plan? Is there an end of year plan? Like, can we anticipate a project? Maybe we're gonna get a 10-track poetry movie. Who knows? What do we got coming?
Well, I got a single that's gonna be coming soon, and then I probably will do another single after that, and then the project will be coming.
Oh, so the project's coming?
Yeah, project is in the works.
Cool.
But I just didn't want to throw it out there. I wanted to, give some warm up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna throw a couple of singles out first, and
Visuals too?
Yes, visuals too.
Can you talk to us about production? Who you working with? Any of that?
Well, on the project, I'm working with the Producers Lounge.
Okay.
So, almost any producer that you've heard on the Producers Lounge has the option to submit tracks for the project. Okay. I've selected some tracks, so far I've been working with Name Brand and Sutter. And
shout out Sutter, low key. Gotta shout out Sutter. Shout out, I rock with them all, but I definitely gotta shout out Sutter because we got this session tomorrow. Chilipino's out with Noah O, and he just produced a whole project, and it's we was listening to it on the way over here. I think it has some of the best tracks I've heard out of Richmond this year on it. So shout out to him. Didn't want to interrupt you, but I want to pay respect. Good, sound like you got good production.
No, yeah, but I heard he had a dope show at the Broadberry.
It was. I didn't make it. Yeah, I've been inside.
Yeah.
I've been like inside.
You stay inside all the time?
No, it's just I'm being extremely selective of how much outside and where I go outside, and it's not.
Why, are you scared of the vid still?
No, it's not that. It's But don't get me wrong. Like I be going places. It's just kind of I broadly spread myself. Like from the standpoint of like. From a hip hop standpoint, like it's just a lot of different hip hop pockets, and I try to make sure that I balance how much time I spend in all of them, so that I can have a balance in what I consume. So like I ain't gonna lie, I've been horrible with being at RVA Rap Elite. I've been to one or two. I ain't been to any of the drafts. I feel horrible. I mean,
You still a GM?
I'm still a GM. Okay. I'm just the worst one.
So you still be picking team?
I just don't even be picking. I'm the worst one.
Now.
The worst one right now.
You done won the championship. Now you done got lazy. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You got your trophy. Now you like.
I mean, a little bit. A little bit, but not really. The true answer, and I told them this in the chat. The true answer is that I'm really like. This in 22. I've been really committed to my work, and my children and family. That's a real answer. Like because sometimes I struggle with the balance with that, you know. So that's the main reason why. And I apologize, but I do my part in showing love, you know, in other ways. You know, I just haven't been visible. I'm gonna get back out there though. It's summertime, so.
Yeah.
But
5 episodes left.
I'm horrible right now. But at the same time, I still talk shit to him. So like what's his name? Here RVA, because he's really happy right now with his draft. All of them, like they know that I know, and they kind of know too. My ear's different.
Okay.
So like I look at the league right now, and like, you know, they pay some respect to some folks. Like Trey Authentic's doing a phenomenal job, and Wanski's doing a great job. And I see him. I'm paying attention, right? Bakari Kennedy, who hasn't been showing up, in my opinion, he's gonna win. I'm surprised he hasn't won. He's gonna win though. Boy, it's nice. You see his go live?
No, I didn't see his go live.
Go check out his go live with Lil Rock. It's like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, Bakari Kennedy is really nice. I think Bakari Kennedy.
He was in there last year too.
No, he's been in there, but he's getting better. He gets better every time. He takes losses very well and rebounds. He's out of Charlottesville somewhere, you know, and he ain't been really tapping in. But no, look, much love to RVA Rap Elite. They know I suck right now. But I got a lot of love for it. I'm gonna get back in there though. I'm talking to shit. I could come back right now and win. But it's summertime. I'll be at the beach. Working. I'll try to get the bag. You know what I'm saying? It'd be hard. But I'm going to get back out there, though. But I'm outside. It's just, like, different. My outside is different.
Okay.
My outside is on the bicycle, at the pond, and the river, and the ocean.
Okay.
It's not, like, at the bar, the club, or the show right
now.
My outside is like trying to like figure out what's going on outside and like go to YouTube and be a nerd about it.
So once you be going down the rabbit hole and stuff?
What's the rabbit hole?
Like, you know, when you start watching one video about one thing and now it's 2 hours later and you done watch 58 videos.
Yeah, I watch all your stuff. That's what it is.
Subscribe to 2 channels.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. And when I kind of like an addictive personality. When I start like checking something and feeling like it's hot, I'll dive in on it. But I think that's also, not to be arrogant, but to my credit, like what contributes to my conversations with people. Because like, I try to have a meaningful conversation. Like from a creative standpoint, like my background is like clinical, mental stuff, right? I truly like try to understand people and learn people. And like, so when we having a conversation, like, I want you to be able to walk away into your next interview, podcast, whatever. You can be like, okay, the conversation is just different.
So what, you trying to psychoanalyze?
No, not at all. I already have.
Oh, yeah? So what's your conclusion?
Yo, you a dope MC.
Yeah, but
I keep it at that. I mean, I don't know anything else to judge. It'd be judgmental. Like, I don't judge. I don't know anything else to know. But I know enough. I know that at this point, my view of you is that you've been battle tested in the whole hip hop thing, and you're thorough. And so it's intriguing, right? That there needs to be a conversation documented. We, from a community standpoint, need to know more about you than just an MC. Like, somebody got to do the documentation, and that's the position I take in our community. Let's document the conversation so that we, as consumers of music, artists, fans, can be more familiar with the the person and not just the artist or the person they portray when they're on stage.
Right. I don't know if I portray somebody on stage. Maybe a little bit. I'm a little more rude on stage than I am an actual person.
So you trying to say like who you are on stage and all your bars is who you are as a person? Like, come on.
No. I'm saying I'm a little more rude.
Okay.
I think I'm a little more rude.
So who is Mila Mansa? This is a phenomenal clip right here. Who is Mila Mansa?
Dope MC. Like,
But you answered it the same way I just did. So, you know what I'm saying? That's all you're going to give me.
I thought we established that. And I was going off your words. That's what you said.
Yeah, I'm just trying to dig. Now I'm just trying to go deeper though.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a lover of hip hop. Like, I've been a lover of hip hop since I was a kid. I had young parents. I grew up listening to all kind of everything, you know. So it's like I just love music. I play a couple of instruments, you know what I'm saying, when I was going through school. I started off with the cello. Mm-hmm. I think it was like 4th grade, baby. It was bigger than me, but like I just liked the way it sounded. Mm-hmm. And so every week I'm lugging this big old thing. It's bigger than me.
What were your musical influences?
What do you mean, hip hop wise,
yeah.
or just
Period. You could be. You don't have to be just hip hop. Musical. Like what influenced you? Like what? Yeah. What made you fall in love? Like was there someone that you heard that made you fall in love with hip hop?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think probably the break dancers. When I seen that, it was like, you know.
So your dance background serious then? Like you was like popping yourself.
I used to could do all of that stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm
back in your younger day, you still seem like a young lady to me. Come on now.
Yeah.
You still can do it. You just think arthritis maybe kicked in.
Nah, it ain't no arthritis.
You probably don't even believe in arthritis.
Nah, you're not there.
Let me tell you, it's a real thing. I don't know what you're gonna call it, but when you get my age, young lady, it's a real thing. I don't know what we're gonna call it. We just say maybe we need to do some more yoga. You do yoga and stuff, don't you?
I do.
Pilates?
I don't do Pilates, but I do yoga.
You work out? You lift weights?
I don't lift weights.
Walk, run, swim?
I bike.
Bike?
I don't like walking though, but I bike. I
Gotcha.
like biking.
Gotcha. We're gonna play a little game, Mila.
Okay,
you ready?
what's the game?
It's called React. I just named it, and you don't really think. You just impulsively respond, right? Don't take too long, okay? And completely honest, okay? I'm not gonna be respectful or disrespectful. I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm gonna be impulsive, right?
Okay.
All right. Chicken or fish?
It depends on what kind of fish it is.
Okay, here we go. So now you thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, you thinking about it.
I'm supposed to just answer this.
Yeah.
Not think, okay, well then in that case, chicken.
But if it was catfish or something, you might be all right with it.
It depends on what kind of catfish.
Fried hard, all right?
Yeah.
It depends on the best one that night, all right? Here we go. All right. Childhood crush. Celebrity. Childhood crush.
Nasir.
Nas.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, him and he's been said a few times, man. When you look at a man, chest, arms, or ass, what intrigue you the most?
Chest and arms.
Chest and arms. Mm-hmm. Can't pick this one. Chest.
Huh?
You had to pick one first.
Oh, okay. Well then probably maybe arms.
Okay, big, but fellas, you flat booty brothers, hey, you know what I'm saying? You know where your position is right now, okay? Because they on the bottom. You just said chest. You said arms, chest.
Arms, chest.
So a man can have an arm and a chest and a flat booty, but he might be alright.
I mean, what's he doing? Modeling thongs? Like, I mean, I don't understand like how much ass he actually needs for it.
Some women are ass men. You never know. Like I know women to be like, yo, I can brother with an ass, man. It's important.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
All right. So but you eat meat. Meat is cool for you.
I eat meat occasionally.
Okay, no pork and beef.
I don't eat no pork.
Okay.
I occasionally have a little filet mignon, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm not a huge consumer of beef.
Gotcha. Are there any like this question is more of a question from the standpoint of like I'm asking it intentionally to show love to someone else, right?
Okay.
Like, is there someone that you may have not even had this conversation, or you may have, but you want to say right now that you'd like to possibly collaborate with, work with, create with? They may know, they may not know. But for those who don't know, it's an opportunity to like show love to them so we can recognize them, because there's something about their artistry that you respect and you're like, yo, I'd like to do some work with them.
Oh, you talking about like people in the city?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would like to do something with Kula. I think she's dope. I would like to do something with Rel, possibly, and what's his name? Well, you know, of course, like I would like to do something with Mike too. Actually, like I like the way he does stuff. But yeah. Like,
I believe we should put those things in the air, you know, for whatever they fall. You know, we believe in like showing love, highlight names. It's a positive, good name drop. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes like anything can start with a conversation, and like we create the moment,
right?
And put it out there, and it fall where it fall. I'd like to hear you do something with Michael too, and. Yeah, everyone that you mentioned, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess it'd be interesting. Like, I could see you and Rel doing something. You and Cool are different MCs, so I'm not really like familiar with Cool's music. Only, you know, so I don't really know what that would be like. But both of y'all have done y'all's thing on the platform. I like to see how like, it has been a beautiful thing to see the female MCs kind of become their own thing, because y'all been on stages together and done other things in the city. I think that's a. So I mean, because of that, it would only be right, probably the respectful thing to figure out like where can that energy go.
I would like to do something with Vintage too. Vintage, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. What's the Jerry West of RVA Rap Elite?
Yeah. The logo. Yeah, he the logo.
You been following basketball? You a basketball fan?
Not so much anymore, but I kind of know what's going on a little bit here and there.
You watching the series right now?
I caught one of the games the other day.
You got a team?
Do I have a basketball team?
Yeah.
Nah.
Gotcha. No, so sport fan of any?
I'm an Eagles fan.
Okay, I used to be an Eagles fan too. I was an Eagle because of Randall Cunningham. I grew up on that. Let me ask you this question, Mila. We'll close here in like 15. We could wrap up fourth quarter. Let me ask you this question. I think it's important that our artists speak about, even outside of music. Like we create an opportunity, and I'm not sure how much you follow what's happening in the city or the world or the news, whatever the case is, but like I like to create opportunities where artists can speak on things that really matter to them, you know, because like right now in this world, it's different. Things are changing, you know, like. I think crime is on the rise. The murders in Richmond is getting back to like the old, you know, things are changing, you know, and so like, would you be willing to use your voice, you know what I'm saying, to speak in regard to like, maybe your message in regard to how our community could improve will impact somebody today? Because you may have the ability to convey something from your perspective on regard to like what matters to you. So that's what I'm curious about, like what matters to you right now that's like happening in this world that you be compelled to speak about it in regard to where you feel like change should be made. And the reason why I say that is because I'm a believer that we are change makers. You know.
So it's kind of like if there was something that I could improve in the community, the black community, then what would it be?
Yeah.
I think the number one thing is that we've got to remember sometime what team we on, you know? And I think a lot of times we get caught up in this, like what Martin said, the team of I. You know what I'm saying? The team of me. What was that? Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins? The team of me. Like, and it becomes about, you know, as long as I'm straight, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And everything is cool, everything is fair as long as you straight. And it's like, that's a lonely place to be when you're the only person that you can depend on. You know what I'm saying? And if we all are operating with that mindset of it's just about me, then we fragments. You know what I'm saying? When there's other people that play as teams. And then we wonder why, when it's time for us to get respect, we don't get the respect that we feel like we deserve. But it's because we don't give it to each other. It's like we got to respect each other first and know that, you know, we got different ideologies. We have different lifestyles. We have different choices of religion. You know what I'm saying? We all have our lanes that we live in. But like, the bottom baseline is we all the same people. You know what I'm saying? The brown, you know what I'm saying? We all the same people. So it's like, if we can't respect each other just on a regular person to person basis, it's really hard for us to go out and demand respect in other instances where things take place, where lives are being taken or people are being disrespected in ways that we feel is improper. It's like, if you talk to your woman like that, why can't I talk to your woman like that? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, if this is how you treat your family, you know, why should I respect? If this is how you treat your family, why should I respect your mother when she's in the store alone by herself? Like she's just another black whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that the moment that we realize that, you know, we don't have to agree on everything, but we do have to start to kind of get into the mentality of us together. Of like, we competing, but on a global scale. We got the biggest, the strongest, the smartest, the most attractive team, but we selling ourselves out for little small individual victories. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we need to kind of not look at each other as something separate from the other. Like, and it starts with just, you know, the acknowledgement of when you see somebody that looks like you somewhere, you know, acknowledge their presence, head nod, what's up, you know what I'm saying, eye contact, smile, something, good afternoon, you know what I'm saying, it's okay, you know what I'm saying.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Yeah, that's powerful. It really is powerful. Thank you. That's powerful, and I believe the same thing. I think that it applies to all things, everything. But it particularly applies to this music. And that's where we're struggling. That has been the struggle for us as a state. Like, my podcast is not, and again, it kind of speaks to my inside outside, right? My podcast is like city based. It's more regional based. It's more, I cover the state and region. And that's where part of where our struggle has been as a state, as a region, is that we've been divided. I'm not from Virginia. So when I look at Virginia, it's so segregated. We segregated by the river. We segregated by sides. We segregated by area codes. If we want to really move Virginia forward in the music, we got to move Virginia. We got to stop being Richmond. Richmond and RVA are two different things. Richmond and Norfolk are two different things. Like, we got to be a state and a region. We got to come together as a team. Identify those, and they're younger at the end of the day, who can take us forward, and we need to rally and support them, and we all win that way. That's not what happens. That's just not what happens.
You don't feel like it's love on the music scene here in Richmond?
No, I think there's love. Yeah, I think there's a lot of love, but I think there's division still. I definitely believe there's a lot of love, but like, I make it really simple to you. Like, I'm a boom bap consumer music fan, artist. Like, at the end of the day, that's my heart. But I don't just stay in that lane with my eyes and attention, because Fresh Porter was in here just before you came. If you look at the numbers, if you look at the streams, if you look at where our city's at, our city's not there. our city, and it's the younger folks who are really like creating the sound, creating the momentum, creating the numbers. They may not be my preferred choice of music, but it's not what I do. I'm a consumer of music, and I'm not trying to follow trends. I'm trying to capture where's the interest. And as a state, it's the same thing. Take Richmond out of it. 757, 757. 804, 804. There's some love, but there ain't a lot of like. There's not a lot of collaboration, and people can argue back on this. Some people like radio not had this conversation. Easy. Okay. Just because Will Young, Basic, and some of those people, Wansky, some of those people in the rap league, I mean, you're just talking about a subculture. Just because you have collaboration in one lane, don't mean you have state collaboration. We need we need to move as a state. We need to move as a region. We can't just be trying to move off like Richmond. If we trying to really like, to your point, come together as one place. If we want to be on a map like Atlanta or Georgia, you know what I'm saying, or Florida, Texas, it's going to be more than, because we've had artists break out of here. We've had some, singularly.
Yeah. So
like, I think we can have our own thing. We a gumbo. We the top of the north. We the top of the south. At the bottom of the north. We have the blend. We have it, but we have to move together. We can't just expect to move forward because Skills made it, or Pharrell, and whomever. Like, cause
I think what it would take, anytime you trying to pierce a new ground, it starts with championing behind one spear. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think that although there are a lot of artists and all of them are good, I think that things start to grow when people decide to champion behind certain things. Like, for instance, in Atlanta, there's plenty of rappers, mm-hmm. but the people like Lil Uzi Vert and Young Thug, mm-hmm. their crowd kind of grew organically, mm-hmm. from the city, and the city decided, hey, these are the people, and they supported them. They went to their shows, they pushed their mm-hmm. music to the point where other people are like, oh, okay, if these are the people they're listening to, let me check them out too. And it started to grow, mm-hmm. And that's how, they grow like that. So it's like, maybe if there were a few leading artists that people felt like, had the potential to represent the state well, that's what I'd like to see. They should champion probably behind those. That doesn't mean don't support other people, because it's got to be people that come in behind that. Yeah. And those people, once they get to the certain place, they also have to reach back, because just because you got on and you made it and maybe help, a couple of your homeboys, that doesn't really open up the state. You kind of gotta reach back to somebody else who could take it a little bit further, mm-hmm. than what you took.
I'll tell you all this. I have a dream. I have a dream that, are you familiar with FNF Chop? Mm-hmm. In Rio? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with that name?
Well, not Rio, but FNF.
I have a dream that Rio is crazy. Him and, he's like one of the he probably has, his fan base is probably one of the strongest in the city. That they come together, right, with, a boom bap person in music, Nicholas F, or, whomever. I can name drop, whatever. Right. And then we don't have these divided, we can have division. We can have different platforms, right? But at some point we have like, a platform that encompasses all sides of Richmond.
Right.
804 Day, it was just a couple weeks ago. Fresh Porter was a performer, FNF Chop was a performer. There was no lyrical artist that was a performer. That's what I'm saying. Like, how are you going to have an event like that?
Instead of having trap over here, boom bap over here. Can we come together? Like all one platform.
Yeah. Somebody got to talk about it. Listen, I believe that anything can happen when you start up a conversation. And that's just what I'm out here doing.
Yeah, but the thing is, people gotta support the people around them, and that means, more than, just posting something on Instagram while you got a couple of videos at the show. That's like going and actually streaming their stuff, and listening to their stuff and playing their stuff, because it's like, it does come down to a numbers game these days. Yeah. And it's like, so we kind of got to run up the people that we want to, you know what I'm saying?
We do, man. I tell people all the time, like in these group chats, right? Like, I was telling you before, Instagram right now is messing with us. Right now, it's apparent. But like we can impact the algorithms ourselves if we choose to like listen. We got 50 up of this thread. Why don't we all like, share, reshare? That's all you gotta do. Like just create the momentum. And half of y'all got 5 different accounts anyway. So like multiply times 5. Let's boom that thing.
Right.
But anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. Mila, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. I've enjoyed the conversation. Yeah. I'm excited for what's to come with you, particularly with this music.
Yeah, I'll be glad to get the project done and out. I'm excited. We're working on some things, trying to put it together. I just want to make sure that it's proper,
Yeah, well, we're going to instigate and, post and create content so that people's attention can be locked in when the project comes. Do we have a name for it?
No name for it just yet.
No name just yet. Let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Diva Cool Chick. This DIVACOOLCHICK, and that's pretty much everywhere where I'm at. Is Diva Cool Chick. So.
Diva Cool Chick. Go check out her new brewer session over at Brewers Cafe with the big
just
homie.
Dropped the brewer session. I'm gonna be at the RVA Rap Elite Cypher this month. It's going down on June 19th.
I might come outside
at the Tang and Biscuit. So
Go kill him. I see your team. You in real life on the same team. So Cheats might have got him around here. Cheats is clearly sending a list in. Good job, Cheats. Because he got you and Rel on the same pick. You have to choose a list in. I am the example of
you've been slacking off. You got to tighten up, man. Get back on your G. What happened? You know what I'm saying? What you doing?
They know. It's like losing and still talking shit, but they know. I'll be back. I tell you who, my opinion of all the GMs, Kane got the best ear outside of me. Kane got the best ear.
He was close to you last year too, right?
It's truthfully, Winning it is about commitment and your ear. That's what it's about. And I was committed to the default where I got tired, but committed always, and I still always listen. I just be working, so I'm lazy. But Kane got the best ear, and shout out here RVA. Much respect to you. They working hard. You know what I'm saying? But they winning because they working hard. If you work hard, you win.
Hey,
that's all I'm giving them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm giving them. You out working everybody. That's why you winning. Kane got the best ear. You know what I'm saying? Name brand got the best second. Yeah, just so. Anyway, much love to the fam. RVA Rap Elite. Shout out Radio B. Yo, go check out Mila Mansa, Tanga Biscuit. Whether it's this month or next month or any month, based off our release date, you can catch her on the RVA Rap Elite platform. And we're really happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's time to get to work for this season. I haven't really been there too much, but
Yeah, I mean, hey, we gotta win. You gotta win. We ready. Because I don't always agree with a win. So truthfully, you could have won before. I don't know. I ain't really been there to really release it. But Trey Authentic, I give him love. Like he been doing his thing. Jason been doing his thing. Jason really did a great job last time. People, like you said, people are emerging. And that's the thing. Pen's getting better.
Yeah, as we going on, it's like, because at first everybody was kind of, floating this way and that way. But now it seems like, a few are starting to emerge. Like you got, so Trey's been doing his thing, but then, Wansky is been doing his thing. Jason's starting to emerge. Introverse is starting to, find his lane, So it's a few people that's starting to bubble up to the surface. They may not have gotten wins yet, but you can definitely see the most important thing is the desire to win. And it's like that is what will get you there, because a lot of people, they just like, I just want to rap, or I just want to get my bars off, and it's like, that's cool.
I wish those people didn't come.
That's
I'm gonna be honest with you, I wish y'all didn't come. Like, I mean, I'm not even rapping, but like I take my time serious. And y'all need to go to open mics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a competition. Relax and stay home. I'll give y'all a tip. I'll give you a tip. Pay attention when you're not on stage to the people who's not on stage. Pay attention to the consumers of music. Listen, watch Radio Nick. Watch the body language. Watch what they respond to. Because you are rapping for people other than yourself.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to read that. And if you read that and study that and you listen to the reviews.
The reviews is the key.
This is
what I tell people. It's like that they're going to tell you everything that you doing wrong or not wrong, things that you could do better, like where your weaknesses are. They're going to tell you where all your weaknesses are. And if you're smart enough and you can tuck your ego away for a minute or two, that's going to give you just what you need, that space to grow. And it's like, but if you just dare just to rap your verses because you want to get your bars off, it's like you paid $15 for what?
That's the problem.
Like,
that's the problem.
Like, I don't know. It's like, but that hunger, you need that desire for number one, and that's what's gonna help you get the most out of the platform.
You still could come back and win 4.
Yeah.
You can still come back and be a back-to-back MVP. We got half the year. That's why I can still come back.
You gonna come back and take the GM title again?
I'm done. I don't think I got it, but
no,
regardless if I show up or not, my love is there for the artist. I mean, that's part of my motivation for when I had this conversation. He was killing people. See, it's killing people. It was not even like it was apparent that you were gonna win certain nights because I didn't feel like nobody was rising. I think it's a combination. I think you was killing people, and I think that it was at a place where the distance between you and other people just wasn't. I didn't really see competition like that. I mean, there was a couple people that I thought could give you competition and did give you competition. A couple, real life. There was a couple, but chances are that we saw you do what Basic did. We seen that. We was like, oh, we saw this before. We just saw people come through and then run through people. We saw. That's what I saw.
I mean, what do you think about Trey doing his thing right now? Do you think
Trey's doing his thing?
He's running through people?
No, I don't think he's running through people. He ain't running through people.
So what do you think he's doing then?
Yo, we up? You got a camera clip?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Okay, we close. We close. We close. Okay. I don't think Trey's. I think Trey's deservingly winning.
Okay.
I don't think he's killing people. I think he has. There's been a couple maybe so, but I think they're still like the 0.5 differentials or one up. I respect them. You was killing people. There's a difference. Killing them, no chance. I mean, look, your initial win, whatever, was a surprise, right? And then a couple was like, and then it got to the point, whether you won or not, that's when like we in our chat and we were like, we giving them feedback, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, it's like there's some times where there's a lot of times when people lose that we think that someone won. That's everybody, right?
Right.
But no, I got a lot of love for Trey Authentic though, because I've watched him grow. He's grown. Same love I got for him, I got for Bakari. Though. I feel like if Bakari would have continued to stay like consistent, Bakari would have won too.
Yeah, Key Speech coming back with that chip on his shoulder.
Key Speech coming, Key Speech dope. I'd like to see Will Young come back. You ever rapped with him?
I think once.
Yeah, Will Young.
Or maybe he didn't.
Will Young is, in my opinion, we had this debate. Will Young was the first 30. He didn't get it though because he rapped against Basic, and that's like his best friend. And like the verse he gave, I mean, people, if they were there, they know. People still talking about the verse. He didn't get no 30. It's like that. And he didn't win because he lost in sudden death. But he had the best. It was a crazy verse. Like, but I don't know. Right now, it's looking like Trey Authentic is gonna get MVP unless you come back or Wansky do something. That's my thought. That's my prediction.
Well, it's 5 episodes left in a given Sunday. You never know what can happen.
So you bringing it.
I'm just saying, we're going to put the cards on the table and may the best bars win.
There we go. Mila Mansa, episode 100 and something. I appreciate y'all continuing to rock with Randy Wilson Podcast, powered by Spin 100 FM. We out.
Peace.
The arthritis hit the knees.